I mean, I just feel like I'm the queen of control for the sake of help. I want to help. I want to help you not feel pain in the direction you're going in.
Right.
And this is with my husband, my children. Let me fix you to prevent you from going down this road. And as my very dear friend told me a long time ago, you can get in the way of God not working them.
I was probably getting in the way when I told you that.
Well, still, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I never forgot it.
Welcome to another episode of Marriage Matters with PB&J, plus a few more this time. As you all can see, we have a few extra guests, and we are so super excited about this.
Yeah.
I am your host for this episode. I'm Latalia Posey. I would like for you to meet my friend, my special guest for today.
Nancy West.
Yes, my friend, Miss Nancy. Nancy, tell us quickly how long you have been married.
26 years this September.
Wow. And how many kids do you have?
We have 5, 4 biological and a plus one.
It's a lot of kids represented at this table, around this table. I'll say that right quick.
Yes,
All right.
indeed.
I'm going to throw it over to you, Angela. Introduce yourself and your guest, please.
I'm Angela Johnson. My husband and I have been married almost 30 years. And my guest today is Mrs. Keisha O'Neill.
I have been married yesterday, 24 years.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Anniversary. And children?
We have two children.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. And MeKael.
We are, well, I'm so used to saying we,
Right.
Dorian, but Dorian's not here today.
Yeah.
I have my cousin here, but I'm MeKael Black,
Uh-huh.
and this is my beautiful cousin, LaShawna, and she's been married to my cousin for how long?
Almost 20 years.
20
Wow.
years.
Well, awesome. Well, we're so excited. As you all can see, it's a little different because we're doing a ladies only episode. The men are here. They're out there. They may be at the door. If we open it, they may fall in. I have a feeling they won't. That's probably what we would be doing.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
they're not even thinking about us. Like they're doing their own thing. But we're going to chat a bit. We're just going to talk a bit about something we talked about before, but we're going to dive in, and that's our words. We're going to talk about the weight of our words. We're going to talk about when to talk, how to know when to say something, when not to. We're going to talk about the wisdom behind it. We're going to talk about all that. Because if y'all are anything like me, you've had an issue a time or two about saying something you ain't have no business saying, you know, and having to go back and clean up that mess.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive in a little bit. I know when I was first married, like if it was on my mind, it came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like I just said it. And that was not always good. And even when the Lord started convicting me, sometimes I'd be like, oh, hold on, I got it.
Yeah.
And I still say it, you know, and then of course have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really realize the impact that my words had on my husband.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't, I don't know that he knew initially. And then I remember the one time he came to me and he was vulnerable and he just told me, like, this stuff hurts. Like, you can say stuff that just cuts deeply. And because I love him so much, I was like, oh, well, let me stop saying things that cut deeply. Because just as he always says, like, no matter what he does, all the accolades that other people give, my words matter. Then it's the same when I critique him. So I want to hear from y'all a little bit. We'll start with the original PB&J to let you girls warm up a little bit and get in. But Kel and Angela, have y'all ever said anything that you later regretted saying to your husband?
Yeah. Yep. I have. I'm guilty. And you know, sometimes when you don't have control of your emotions, you haven't matured to the point where you have learned to harness your emotions. Things can come out spontaneously, you know. So, but as we have grown in our relationship, we've both become better with that, you know, handling our words and being mindful of what we say, because words can hurt.
Yes.
Words can hurt, and especially from someone we love. You know, it's not so bad if somebody from the outside say this or that about you. You know, it could hurt, but it really hurts when it comes from a loved one.
Right.
So we both have learned to pause and think about the things that we say before we say it.
We know that we're to submit ourselves to each other, but as wives, you know, like that's a word some wives don't want to hear, but that's what we're called to do. But we're also called to be helpmeets.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means speaking up when we need to.
Right.
So Angela, can you tell us in your mind, or the way you do it in your life, the difference between knowing when to be submissive as it relates to, okay, he's saying this, I'm not going to say anything, or, okay, it's time for me to be the helpmeet that does say something.
Right. Yeah. I think when I find myself trying to convince him to think or be a certain way, is usually when I realize, look, you could say all the words that come to your mind, but you are not God. If the Lord is the only one who can change this man's heart.
Right.
If it's a matter of, a heart change needing to occur, initially, yes, I can say I will talk until I turn blue in the face. I believe that when I retire from school counseling, I may just go to law school. I just love to have a good debate, a good conversation. But sometimes in my talking, when I realize, okay, you're not going to shut up until this man just says, okay, you're right, or okay, I agree. Or I finally change my mind to what you're trying to convince me, I have to just step back and say, look, you're not God. And that was really, to me, sometimes I can get so caught up into me being able to persuade or, change a person a certain way to where I'm like, that is just pride, and you need to get rid of that.
Right.
Because, you may know a few things, but you don't know everything.
Right.
You may be smart, but some areas your spouse is smarter than you are, and you've got to humble yourself and be able to admit that.
Yeah.
And you got to just let me be God.
Right.
You're not God, and only I can work on the inner beings of him. So when I find myself crossing that line or towing that line, ease back a little bit and say, okay, this is something that I need to commit to prayer.
Right.
Not something that I need to just keep talking and trying to weigh my husband down about or win him over, because, that can be a little exhausting for your spouse.
Yes, and to us. Okay,
Yeah.
ladies, have you all ever felt like you needed to say something, though, and that it was right? Like it was right for you to say something? And
Always.
I don't know if we need to go to you then, but we will. Go
She
ahead.
said always. Okay.
I mean, I just feel like I'm the queen of control for the sake of help. I want to help. I want to help you not feel pain in the direction you're going in.
Right.
And this is with my husband, my children. Let me fix you to prevent you from going down this road. And as my very dear friend told me a long time ago, you can get in the way of God doing that work in them.
I was probably getting in the way when I told you that. But
Well, still, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I never forgot it, and I think that's been the biggest struggle for me, is just really learning when to just stay quiet, be still, and know that He is God and I'm not, and let the Holy Spirit do the job that He is best at.
Yeah.
Just conviction and guidance and wisdom, all the things. So.
Right.
That's good.
So that, yes. All right. So when do you guys know, how do you know when to say something? Because like we said, there is a time when we are to say something and to help. If you know that what you're going to say is difficult, or what you're going to say may not be met, with acceptance, then how do you say it? What do you do?
Well, for me, I always evaluate the moment.
Okay.
I evaluate the moment. I judge how he is in the moment. I judge myself in the moment, because I may have an urgency that may not be urgent. So, I judge myself in the moment. Is this a good time? And then I go ask God, tell me how, or if I need to say this and how to say it, like most of us ladies, we've all have learning. You learn your spouses, you learn their communication, how they communicate, what works well for them, what doesn't. And that takes time sometimes when you're married to learn those things.
Right.
And I feel like even now I'm still learning as me and him change. And sometimes those communication changes. So I really rely on the Holy Spirit to, usher me into those moments. Sometimes I make it
Right.
Sometimes I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I got to have the self-control of when to back up.
Yeah.
When, you know, when I see that this is going a whole different direction,
Right.
I need to back up and wait, evaluate this moment before it becomes a bigger moment.
A bigger moment.
A bigger moment.
Yeah.
So, and that, like I said, that took years
Yeah.
of, you know, discipline
Yeah.
of getting there.
That is
Mhm.
real good.
I like that because it's like
Yeah.
reading the room. She's
Yeah.
reading the room,
Mhm.
reading the temperature of the room and how he is. Because he could have been had a bad day. You
Right.
come in with your urgency.
Mhm.
That's not his emergency,
Mhm.
and then it could just blow up.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Now, my husband is an educator.
Okay.
So when he gets home, I have to read him. 'Cause, you know, in education, it you never know what kind of day he's had with parents or teachers or students. So if it's something I really want to say, I have to, you know, just watch him. You know, is he in a good mood? Is it, you know, did he have a hard day? Is he hangry?
All right.
Because my husband likes to, you know, he likes his food. So, you know,
Yeah.
if he's hungry, it's not a good time to bring up, you know, certain topics. Or if
Right.
he's tired or if it's late at night. So picking the right timing in my house is better for conversations.
Okay.
And also, depending on the topic, how deep is the topic? Like, do we need to talk about this here? Do we need to talk
Okay.
about this, you know, outside of the house, like on a date or somewhere?
Yeah.
Like some things, you know, the environment matters.
Yeah.
So that's been helpful for me.
So I'm hearing that the right words won't matter if it's at the wrong time and at the wrong environment.
That's how mine.
Okay, what about tone? What if it's said
Ooh.
at the wrong time?
Hey.
So I'm not the only one that's sensitive. Need to check my tone. Then,
No,
right?
I
Yes.
definitely need to raise my hand. 'Cause I'm just a loud person. I'm a loud talker,
Yeah.
and my husband is very calm. Now he does get passionate about certain things. You know, when he's preaching, he gets passionate. You know, but as far as like conversation tone, I'm the more, you know. Sometimes I'm like, hey, and he's like, when he gets really quiet, I know my tone is way over the top.
Yeah. Any of you other ladies have anything with tone? Have y'all had to check yourselves?
Oh, my
I
husband
have.
constantly says, "You don't know how you sound when you say that," and I'm very frank.
Yeah.
I just am, and so sometimes I think I'm just being frank and to the point, but he may be receiving it different. So if I can be intentional with being a little softer, it's always.
I'm a
better.
teacher, so my husband has said quite a few times, "Bae, I'm not your student." And I'll say, "I'm not your teachers or students either." So we've had to just reel it back in and step aside from profession and be husband and wife. Be intentional about how we communicate with each other in the tone. Because I can say whatever I want to say, and it can be the right thing, but if it's the wrong tone, then he's not going to receive it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so good.
My husband actually put up a bigger wall, and it's harder to get through to him.
Right.
If you present or deliver, you know, it in a bad way.
Yes.
That's good.
Oh, that is so good.
Because I think a man, you know, if your tone is not respectful, then the issue really becomes secondary to, okay, not only are you upset, but now you've disrespected me.
Right.
So we got two things on the table that we
Yeah,
have to deal
right.
with
And
then.
we know how they feel about respect.
Yes, ma'am.
That takes
Oh
over.
boy, do we know.
We
I
heard.
think for me, like, it's not just my tone, my facial expressions.
Oh, that's good.
Because my facial expressions is going to match my tone. And I may say it nice. Even I may say it nice, but this face
Guilty.
is going to say something totally different. And he's going to know that I'm not sincere
Yeah.
at what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and he is not going to take it. Like, because this right here, he'll tell me in a minute, "Baby, I'm looking at your face." Like, he be like, "You did not mean that because I'm looking at your face." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "I know I didn't. I just
I gave
saying
it
something."
away.
Yeah, I'm saying something to try to surpass the moment or, you know, just to, you know, get past this because I might have been wrong.
Right.
But yeah, so I have to check my expression. I really have to check my heart posture And what I'm saying, like, God, help me with this, because I can't do it. I can't do it how I'm feeling this moment. I can't do this without you.
Yeah.
So fix my face, fix this tone, work on me. And then sometime there are times I'm like, honey, I'm sorry. God is working on me with this. I have to apologize about it,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel you, sis. I do. It's the face for sure. And then I thinking about what you said, Nancy, I know, like, for me, I'm frank too. I tend to be frank, but I have to realize I can't give it the way I necessarily can receive it. Like, I want people to be frank with me. Like, tell me.
Yeah,
But
that's
I can't deliver it that way, though. You know what I'm saying? Just
right.
because I want it that way does not mean that's how he wants it or needs
That's
it.
right.
Jeff is the opposite. He's not frank, and he doesn't want me to just come that way. And I'm like, yeah, like,
That's so good.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
just
I needed that.
Remind me to stay on that.
Because that's so
Hold me
true.
accountable.
My husband is not frank either. He's
Yeah.
going to talk circles around something before, and I'm like, just get to the point.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but God did
that's
not
good.
give us men, thankfully. He
yeah.
didn't give us men that match that same,
Oh,
energy. Like, thank goodness.
Yes.
That
Yes.
would just not be good. I'm grateful for my meek husband.
I'm
who
the
teaches me.
opposite.
You are.
Dorian is frank,
That's
and
so
I'm
true.
going around in circles.
Yeah.
You're like, girl, what you trying to say? Yeah.
Coin and I are both frank.
Oh, that's
that's interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I bet you guys have some interesting
I
conversations.
kind of want to be there one day to hear y'all now. What you say?
We both do not go in circles. We are both frank.
Yeah. That is. So do you have to adjust because of that?
I've learned that one of us has to. I try to let him lead and be in control of it,
Okay.
and because I don't want to feel like I'm stepping over him or trying to out-talk him or speak over him or make him feel like what he's saying doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I have to say, I want to get through to him.
Yeah.
So I have to be very intentional on how I say it, and then sometimes, is it worth even saying?
Right.
We need to stop
Oh,
there
yeah.
for a second.
Is
That
it even
is-
worth
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
pray about it and just
Right.
let it go.
Yeah.
Everything that you think is not, you don't have to say it.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And
That is
sometimes
so
if you
true.
pray about it, God will deal with him
Yes.
about the same thing that you're wanting to say, and you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
So good.
And God does it so much better than we do.
Oh,
He
yes.
really does.
So
Yes,
much better than
yes.
we do.
Yes, he
and you
does.
think we'd see that and learn, but some of us still, it takes a little
Right.
longer just to come back and just to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's good.
And he may not, deal with him the way that we want God to deal. Because, we want God. You tell him this, and I want him to be like
Right.
this and this and this and this. And, God may say, well, okay, I'm going to deal with you first, and then I'm going to deal with
That's
him, but I'm going
exactly
to do it
it.
my way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where that patience comes in and trust. I feel like all the fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
Like that's why we're married,
Right.
And that's why we have kids, because they will perfect every piece of fruit that they're supposed to be. The patience, the long suffering, like all of it, you know. But it's a good thing.
It
Yes,
is.
I do want to see Jesus, and I want to hear well done, and I'm convinced that my marriage and parenting is what's gonna help me get there, because it does. It makes me go back to God, like in all seriousness, like okay, like I see this ugliness, you know, I see like these issues. It's almost like a mirror. Like when I'm talking to Jeff, like ooh, like I can see that,
Yeah.
and then God just reminds me, like this is why I have you here.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, have you all ever had a time when you could visibly see that the weight of your words on your husband? Like whether it was positive, like you said it and he started skipping around the house or jumping and stuff, or if it was negative and you could see him, looking dejected or something like that. Anybody want to chime in?
Yeah, I just had it happen.
Oh, dang. What you do? What you say?
Okay. So, Dorian works with our kids with sports and stuff with my daughter, and they go head to head because they a lot alike. So they going back and forth. And so he was venting to me about their training session. And so I was like, well, you probably just need to get somebody else to do it.
Instead of him.
Because this must not be working. He just put his head down. He didn't say anything. As soon as I walked out, I said, dang. That came out my mouth.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize. I was like, I shouldn't have said it like that. I didn't really mean it like that, but I was just like, I was kind of frustrated. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of venting going on. Keep hearing this. You know, get somebody else to do it.
It just came out. Sorry.
So that was one of those scenarios where you didn't talk around in circles. You just
I did.
boom, put it out there.
I didn't talk around in circles that day.
Sound like you didn't.
I didn't.
Just gave it to him straight.
Yeah, I apologized, and he accepted my apology. But I explained to him, you know, where it came from. But it didn't come out right.
Okay.
It didn't come out, you know,
Right.
because he does good with her, and she enjoys it. It's just that, I don't know. Yeah.
So, sis, what'd you learn from that?
I learned to just keep those moments to myself and maybe call you and just vent to you. Tell you, I'm tired of hearing them talk about this.
We're laughing, but that's real.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
we do need to vent.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I'll
Right.
call somebody in a minute, and it's not putting our business out there. Or, you know, we know the line.
Yeah.
But it's just like, girl, I'm tired.
Oh,
I'm
here it is no
frustrated.
more. But I'll be thinking like, okay, we are each other's friend, and we
Right.
share
Yeah.
with each other. And I'm like, well, who else he gonna tell? You know, who
Right.
else he gonna vent to me?
Yeah.
You know, vent to about, about what they got going on.
Yeah.
He chose to vent to me,
Yeah.
and instead, I used it.
Yeah.
I used it against y'all. Dang.
That's all right.
I
You
messed up.
recognized it and you went back.
Yeah, I apologized. I apologized in front of him and the kids.
Mhm. But that's a good point, though. Like, we are that for them. You know,
Right.
we're supposed to be that safe place and that
Yeah.
soft place for them to land and stuff like that. And we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
That we need to be that. So they'll keep opening up.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they'll keep, expressing and saying different things. It's
Yeah.
not always easy.
Yeah.
It's
But we
not.
have
It
to
is
do
not.
it. And at times we have to speak the truth in
Mhm.
love.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure it's like in love. Like, not that we're just saying, I'm speaking the truth in love when you know you're not. Like,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Like, we for real have to speak
Yeah.
the truth in love. And the only way we can do that is by following the leading of the Holy
Right.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
Definitely.
that's
And,
it.
and also following their lead. If you
Yeah.
notice that the conversation is more of a, Steve's just coming in telling me how frustrating his day is. He doesn't
Yeah.
want me to give him any solutions or say, well, if I were you, I would have, or why didn't you just, sometimes they just need to get it out. Just, this is
Yes.
so frustrating and this happened and that happened and she did this and he did that and just, wow, I hate that happened. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Just, and just save the solutions for when
Yeah.
they
That's
actually say,
good.
well, what do you think I should do if since
Right.
it's so frustrating? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
They don't ask
Yeah.
for a solution. Don't give it. But some of us like fix things for a living,
Yeah.
and it's just hard not to want to fix it.
I
So
know it.
you just nodding like, wow.
Yeah, you just
That's
Right.
wild.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
So that's what I learned to just, receive his, you want to vent to me?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
let it out, baby.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, ask those questions and then, just be that safe place for him to do
Right.
that.
That is so
Yeah.
good. So, y'all, as we get ready to wrap up, I think about, like, we've all been married, 20 plus years. So we've been in it for a little bit. We've had a little practice. But for those who, just got married, or if they've been married for a while, but they're just trying to learn how to do this now, I want to hear some tips, just quickly, some things you would say. I know one thing that came to mind was don't try to be his mama. Like, don't check yourself if you sound like his mama. I loved my sweet. I was blessed with one of the best mothers in love. But I didn't want Jeff to see her when he saw me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, mama
Yeah.
had a place, but I want you to look at me differently. And because of that, like, I really was convicted. Like, well, I can't sound like her. And I can't treat him like her. I can't treat him like a child because I don't want him looking at me as a mother figure. Look at me like, we'll talk about that later, but don't look at me like your mama. That's the thing. So, in all seriousness, we have to realize we have to check ourselves. We can't be that voice. You know, there's a place for that, and that's not our role. Again, a helpmeet, but there's a difference in that. So quickly, y'all, what advice would you give somebody who's trying to figure this thing out and walk it out? Anybody who wants to hop in?
I would just say, don't try to be God. Just be his wife. You know, be the helper. Be the one who prays for him, encourages him, and just allow the Lord to do the heart work. Just be the wife, because it can get exhausting trying to be God to somebody. That's why we're not God.
Amen. Yeah.
Don't take each other for granted. I try very hard, and Coin does it too. We're very intentional about saying thank you. Even the small things like thank you for taking the trash out. We've been married 24 years, and I still thank him to this day. Thank you for taking the trash out. Thank you for filling my truck up with gas. Thank you for washing the truck, because we can get so caught up in the everyday, tasks of life, doing life, that you forget to say thank you. We say thank you to people outside, or who bring your food to the table, or who give you change back in the grocery store, but yet we get home and then we fell in that category. So I try to make sure that we say thank you. I appreciate you did a great job doing this. I noticed you did that. You did good cutting the grass. Just being very intentional with that, and just being his safe place at home that he can come home and talk to and not feel like he has this negative Nancy nagging wife at home. Just appreciate it.
Sorry, no offense,
Nancy.
No, totally not you.
It can be.
Figurative language.
I would say be a good listener. A lot of times we'll talk, but don't take the time to actually actively listen to what our spouse is saying and hearing them. And a lot of times when they are talking, they are giving their heart. Yeah. And I can say that because I just failed at it. I wasn't really listening. I was like, taking it in, getting frustrated. But you have to just listen. And then when you do listen, use the information that you've gained to, in a positive way, to nurture back or communicate back effectively.
That's good.
I think for me, it's if I would share some advice, it's expectations. Sometimes you can put unrealistic expectations on your spouse. As a woman, you come in with ideas, your own version or somebody else's version of what marriage should be, and you don't leave room for grace. And, because you're dealing with a human being that's growing just like you're growing, that's learning just like you're learning. And so when you come in with an already preconceived idea of what something should look like to you and your own thinking, then it messes up, you'll find yourself, fighting one another more than learning one another. Because this person is not doing the way you think that they should do. And then you'll find yourself trying to make them to be something that's in your mind and not the blueprint God has for them.
Good.
So you have to leave room. I would encourage to leave room for grace. As somebody who's been there, done that. It's a lot of energy when you're trying to make somebody into what you think they should be.
Come on.
It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of your peace. Takes a lot of your joy. And you were talking about the fruits of the spirit. It takes a lot of that. And you'll find yourself long-suffering longer than what you should.
That's right.
So I say, leave that to God. Don't put it's nothing wrong with having some expectations, but sometimes females, it can be real unrealistic when going into a marriage.
That's good.
Got anything there? Not negative, Nancy?
Learn how to fight fair. And I hate to use the word fight, but when you're in conflict, because, it's going to happen, right? To be respectful and just choose your words carefully. Don't intentionally, don't be disrespectful. And sometimes I have to be intentional, like to not make sure, like what we talked about, tone and all the things. But even just not going for the jugular, holding that back and taking that to God. But a couple that was a mentor of ours told us that years and years ago. It's like, just learn how to fight fair, resolve conflict in a respectful way.
Yeah, that is so
That
good.
is good.
When they do come to us, we can't weaponize what they
Yeah.
tell us. We can't turn around and
Yes.
use, what they tell
Yes.
us and
Yeah.
the things we know.
Yeah.
So that is so good. That's awesome. Well, y'all, this
Yes.
has been great. I've
Yes.
enjoyed talking to y'all. We're going to have to do a ladies only again sometime in the future because it was real good. So be on the lookout. We may do this again. Send us the topics. Send us the things that you want to hear. Drop it on YouTube or Facebook and let us know what you want to hear. We've enjoyed this. We've enjoyed all of you. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
And until next time, know that your marriage matters.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to Marriage Matters with PB&J. Like, share, and subscribe to our page on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Until next time, your marriage matters.